As South Africa commemorates Youth Day, on the agenda we catch up with the youngest member of the City of Johannesburg's mayoral committee for housing, Mlungisi Mabaso. He is dedicated to bringing positive change to the lives of Johannesburg's residents. He joins us now via Zoom. A very good morning to you, Mlungisi, and thank you for making the time to speak to us.
Thank you very much for having me on the show, and good morning to you and the viewers at home.
As a young person holding such a big portfolio, what are some of the challenges you face?
Well, first of all, housing is a very crucial thing that people need, especially in big cities like in the city of Johannesburg. And there's a lot of expectations from our residents, who have been patiently waiting for government to give them or provide them with housing. So now, when you come as the youngest MMC in the mayoral committee, people start to wonder if the government is serious, in addressing the issue of houses in their spaces, and they start to ask questions. If you will be able to handle the heat that comes with the responsibility of leading this crucial department. But I can safely say that I've been receiving support, and I'm very happy with the support that I've been getting from our residents, because, they are now confident to say if young people are in these positions, at least because their blood is still hot and they are able to run. So they are easily people to run and address their issues.
Mlungisi, what did you have to study in order to take up this position, and what sort of capabilities are needed?
Well, I didn't study anything. I was just a community activist that grew up in the hostel. Then after that, I started to occupy position in the IFP. Then I grew within the ranks of the IFP until the IFP deployed me into a council in the city of Johannesburg after 2016 local government elections. Then when the DA-led administration collapsed, then the IFP then deployed me as the MMC after the negotiations with the ANC and the other parties.
Oh, so you came in as part of that negotiation. So tell us, as a young person who, as you say, you've been an activist all your life, the kind of sense you have of what needs to happen in government when you're outside, is it still the same when you're inside?
Well, government processes are very complicated in its nature. Even if you want to expedite some of the processes, there are red tapes within the legislation itself. But the reality of the matter is that, it's better if you are in the executive where the decisions are taken. Because one of the challenges that we have encountered as young people in this country is that we are not in strategic positions where decisions are taken. So hence, we always encourage young people, not to be afraid, to contest for these positions that are in the executive. They must not be afraid to contest for power, because that's where decisions are taken. So even though there are processes that we need to embark on and align ourselves with, but the reality of the matter is that when the decisions are taken, then those decisions are expected to be implemented. But if we do not have the representation in the positions of power in the executive where decisions are taken, then no one is going to take those decisions on your behalf. So hence, there is a need for young people to make sure that they occupy these executive positions so that they are able to take decisions that will represent the young people, who are unable to get themselves in these positions of power.
Mlungisi, it's all good and well to speak about the need for the system to bring young people in, but I like that you touch on the work that you did yourself in order to make yourself eligible to go in. What should young people be doing, except for education? What else should young people be doing to ensure that they are part of the people at the table, that they're part of decision-making in society?
Well, the reality is that we are deployed by political parties. We get to be in these deployments because of our involvement and our engagements in political activities. So now those who are in political parties, those who are young politicians, they must make sure that they occupy the space within their political parties and make sure that they are able to influence decisions and make sure that in the deployment into government structures, at least young people are well represented in those structures, because if they are not, then it will not be easy for young people to make noise and make submissions to government when there are no people that represent them in the executive. So it starts within your political party. So political parties need to recognize us as young people that we exist within the ranks of our organization, and even ourselves. We need to make sure that we fight for the space, and we must not be afraid to contest position and confront issues within the organization, because that's where you need to be recognized. It starts within your political organization. So if you fail it there, then you will not be able to get into executive positions in government. So young people within organization, within political parties, must make sure that they occupy executive positions, and they must not be afraid to contest positions, because they need to demonstrate their power within the organization itself. So the youth of 1976, in fact, demonstrated that young people, when they come together, they do have power, and they can even defeat, the powerful regime. So even within our political organization, we need to adopt that style, we need to adopt that strategy, and we need to make sure that we contest and we engage and we demonstrate that power, so that we are able to occupy executive positions where the decisions are mostly taken.
Mlungisi, finally, having been in the thick of things yourself, what are the challenges that exist in the housing space in the city of Joburg?
Well, first of all, it's City of Johannesburg. We are dealing with a very huge backlog of almost 500,000 people who are within the housing need register. You've got people that are within the hostel spaces, you've got people that are within the informal settlement. And with the rise of the unemployment, it then tells you that more people are going to rely on government to provide them with houses. And we are operating with a very limited resources, because we rely mostly on grants that are allocated to us. So those are the challenges that we have encountered, but there are mitigations that we have introduced. We've got other programs that we have introduced to try and mitigate against this, because we have come to realize that if we were only to ask people to wait for us to build them houses, they are going to wait forever. Hence, there are those that have been waiting since 1996. Hence, we have started now with the program of service stands. We have started with the redevelopment of hostels and the upgrade of informal settlement. So if then we are going to address those issues in that fashion, then I believe that we will be in the position to reduce, this backlog that you are facing, because there are a lot of people that are still coming to Johannesburg for economic opportunities, and when they get there, then they need to get a permanent residence of stay, where then government must come and intervene so that they are able to be provided with those accommodation.
Today we're speaking about Youth Day, but we hope to have you back another day to speak about the challenges of housing, not only in the city, in the province, and necessarily in the country as well. Thank you so much for making the time to talk to us.
Thank you very much.